more now, if we're serious citizens, is how, please, we should know those who took all those money for bringing no fuel to Nigeria so that they can bring back that money, because that money now is times 100 of that 70 billion you are saying they gave to National Assembly to buy chairs and what have you. So,
yes. Now, the second headline story I just want you to shed light on is that your views on this issue of ECOWAS ultimatum, 7-day ultimatum, and of course we are having some even countries in the West African region, like the Punch led with is one of the stories on the page of the Punch newspaper, that Niger, Russia, Burkina Faso, Mali oppose ECOWAS military intervention. And of course, our own son, SAN, Femi Falana, warns ECOWAS leaders against attacking Niger Republic.
you know,
Burkina Faso this day, Mali declares support for Niger military junta, say invasion tantamount to declaration of war. So there's already
the tension,
cacophony of voices.
Absolutely.
There's no unity. And why were ECOWAS issued 7-day ultimatum? AU, African Union, gave 14 days ultimatum. How do you see that? Is it going to be effective at the end of the day, now that we have a
you see, that's why earlier when I was talking, I said, President Tinubu, if people understand the burden of leadership right now, they're not the best times for him. When he emerged as the ECOWAS chairman, all that he had said it categorically that he was against coup, and that we were going to work to see how to mitigate all of this coup. And when he also went to Nairobi, he emphasized the same. So now a coup has taken place in Niger, his next door neighbor, a member of the ECOWAS, and then you could see that after the coup, imagine that Kamala Harris placed a call on Tinubu. And also Anthony Blinken, the secretary. So that was to show you how, for example, America is taking the matter serious. So that means that there's pressure on Tinubu from the West to ensure that he takes care of this thing militarily or otherwise. So now, how is he going to maneuver that pressure?
Given the fact that there's already fragments and
already now Burkina Faso and Mali are issuing a joint statement, and what we're hearing is they are having allies with Russia. So you can see that the whole thing has taken an international dimension.
Everyone is giving 7-day ultimatum. Yes. The ECOWAS is led by our own president.
By our own president, and they seem to be, and they seem to have allies in the West, like America, because, like I told you, Anthony Blinken and African Union is giving, and then but we don't know who African Union is really affiliating with among the world, because this thing now is an international matter. But definitely we know that the ECOWAS, chaired by Tinubu, seem to be in ally with the West, right? With the Americans and the France and the rest of them. So we don't know where the African Union people are allied with, but that's why I'm saying it's now a very, 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 very dicey situation that our president would really require wisdom and perhaps prayers on how to wriggle out of it, because I am not sure that if the West puts their foot on ground about a thing, they will usually, especially something related to this entrenchment of democracy, and is anything they will want to shift on. And then with Mali and Burkina Faso now saying they want to support Niger, and then also attaching it to Russia. So you can see, I think it's a pretty broad one. So we would hope that God will grant our president the wisdom to wriggle out of it, because I think it's a pretty. I'm not sure we've ever been in this kind of situation.
We are in a precarious situation right now, given the economic realities in the country, and we both know that Nigeria funds is the highest
in ECOWAS,
ECOWAS,
definitely
about 80%, or if not at least 70%. So can Nigeria at this time, be
able to fund the war?
Exactly.
So these are but definitely if the West is up and supporting it, then they'll probably have to lend support, one way or another to help that. But that's, to be honest, these are not the best. And I think our leaders and our government officials, if before now they are taking anything like a joke, when you see some of our legislators sometimes talking about issues and laughing in the chambers, you'll be wondering, like, do these guys really understand how critical of a stage that we're in right now, and how much concerted efforts are required to be able to get things working. Because I mean, you don't want to imagine if we would really have to choose the military way to go into Niger. I mean, the burden is going to be too much on Nigeria, trust me. You have internal and then you're going to have external burden. So, and that's why what for now, before any event, more events unfold, what we can just wish for the president is wisdom to be able to navigate through all of this.
Right, thank you so much. Yeah. Now, lastly, just before we go, another story making the headline is the issue of the presidential election petition tribunal that yesterday all the addresses were adopted.
Yes.
And so the tribunal reserves judgment. So what are your connotations?
No, well, you know, all of the issues have been out there in the public glare. You know, all of the issues that have been presented, you know, adoption of addresses is just basically more like, but all of the arguments have been made, evidences have been tendered, witnesses have been called, and I think the whole addresses have also been submitted. Yes. So yesterday they have adopted, and then the court has now reserved judgment until the day it fixes, and so it will go back study. And but I think also that's another area that really there is, because I think for the first time the judiciary is about to undergo a very critical test. Yes. Because there is an absolute interest now in the democratic setting. Yes. I mean, look at who was there at the court yesterday. Chimamanda, who maybe hitherto back in the days you might think she doesn't even care about Nigeria's issues, but these are now showing. And I think yesterday or day before yesterday, Olumide Akpata, the former MBA chairman, has just gone to his ward in Benin to pick up his. And what did he say there? He said it's right about time he stopped complaining by the sidelines. So what that shows is that people are becoming more interested in the democracy, and so now by extension also becoming very, very interested in the judicial process. Now people are reading the constitution, people are understanding what this means, what that means. In fact, if you check Twitter and see how they are analyzing this court case of this tribunal, you'll be marveled. They have their group, they do it, they discuss it. Lawyers, very sound young boys, either abroad or Nigeria, come in there. And so practically is that to a large extent, maybe to a lot of them, they're even already preempting the so again, you know, the judiciary is under a big test. But I
you
also
see the hash slogan, all eyes on
judiciary is already so that's why I'm telling you the interest.
Even in Nigeria, there was a billboard that was marked at all eyes on judiciary.
The interest is large. So I really hope, and with all of these other instabilities that we're talking about, I think the judiciary would do Nigeria a very great deal if they can be able, because I think their judgment will also be able to stay. Let them make sure that in their judgment it is sound and it is clearly at least seen to be just. Yeah, you understand. And I think if they do that, then everyone will be quiet and calm. Otherwise, you may not be able to tell what will be the repercussion of some of these actions going forward. Because if you check all the coup going on in the other countries, they will cite that democracy is not working, and that is the reason why they are thinking to. So I think we should really work to stabilize this democracy and make it work as much as possible.
Yeah, I particularly like what you said, that judgment should be seen to be one that is
fair and just, and
justiceable. Well, thank you so much. With that, we end today's program, Inside Nigeria, brought to you on Leadership Television. I've had my guest in the studio, Hashim Suleiman. Thank you so much. Welcome back from your house. My name is Goodness for you, but tomorrow is another day, same station.